Of course. That's better. Yes, we did. We discussed that very much, Swiss. After a lot of futile arguing, they gave up and decided to let the Zentradi do whatever the hell we want. Okay. First of all, we're going to remove that from the stream, and we're going to present. We're going to stop that. And so we are trying something new today. I'm hoping you guys can read that because I sure as shit can't. But then again, well, let me try that. So let me look. Okay. All right. So hopefully that's working the way I intended. We'll see about that. But in the meantime, welcome to 30 August 2023. We got Swiss Miss and Dangerous Witch in here, which I need to talk to you soonest possible, please. And I got a lot of crap to cover today. Because this week was all fucked up. So let me get my notes up. And by notes, I mean I'm going into my phone and checking the subject. The back door. I have actually learned something from Samuel the Infamous. Not much, though. All right, we're going to start off with a request from Ozzy. He sent me a link to a YouTube video by somebody talking about how Canada is about to go back into lockdowns. Well, The U.S. is about to go into lockdowns and mask mandates as well, if certain parties have their way about it. And it's, this other one, the interviewer seems to be getting a general opinion that people aren't going to support it. Well, when Canada tells their government to go fuck itself, now that's a sign, all right? Please, people, do not mistake a nice or weak, all right? A dirty little secret of Canadians is they're all psychopaths, but they're well-behaved psychopaths. We love you, Susan, you cunt. What the hell did I miss? Swiss, if I say witch, I meant dangerous witch. Take it easy, all right? I wouldn't call you a bitch. I'm not stupid. Crazy, but not stupid. There's a very important difference. All right, moving on. Holy shit. What am I missing here? Why all the hate for Nickelback? And I'm getting the StreamYard side of it, not the fucking YouTube side of it. So I forgot to set that. You're not late, Shadow. I forgot to set this to live chat so you could make sure. There we go. No, I tend to use cunt on the channel there, Swiss Miss. All right. Canada's going back into lockdowns and mask mandates. And if Joe Biden gets his way, so will the U.S. It seems like Canada is not going to comply. And, well, really, fuck you, Justina. Here's the thing. They're well-behaved psychopaths. Once you do the thing that makes them mad, the only thing that actually stops them is they run out of people to kill. That's so, Justina, I recommend you have your Learjet fueled and ready to go 24/7, and have the engines on standby 24/7 at this point. Just that's the way it is, bud. You did this to yourself. Because if those people really snap this time, for those of you that thought the trucker rally was a little unusual and loud and obnoxious, you ain't seen shit yet. All right. All right, here we go. So to the original subjects. We have a late breaking entry. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Can you all hear me very clearly? I'm trying this new earbud, and I hate earbuds, but everybody was bitching about my old Bluetooth. So, yeah, I'm going to highlight this one for a second. Canadians are polite when they want to stab you. They're polite when they don't want to stab you. They're just generally nice all of the time, but when they want to kill you, they are going to fucking kill you. And they'll do it and say, "Excuse me, sir, I beg your pardon. German troops in World War II did testify. All right. Late breaking news. Kyle Rittenhouse is being sued. Hello, Buckle. Is being sued by the estate of one of the two men he killed. I'm not sure which one it is. I kind of don't give a shit. All right. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that, folks. I kind of don't give a shit. I kind of do. All right. There was the one guy who was running around because fucking Susan's a cunt. I can't repeat what the man said. That guy was committing suicide. All right. He was trying to get somebody to kill him. That's suicide. That shouldn't even be, that case should be thrown out faster than you can say no. The other one was not just a violent political protester, but tried to kill Kyle. Tried to beat him with a skateboard. I've seen the damage skateboards can do. And yeah, that's not a legitimate lawsuit. Either way, this lawsuit would be tossed prima facie. Under Datislav, this case would be automatically be tossed. Not only could he not be tried for it, he was tried. It failed. He was found not guilty. The lawsuit's closed. He acted appropriately. I've seen just too many examples of civil suit being used as an end run to the criminal decision, to the court decision the court's made. That should have been the end of the discussion. It wasn't. Somebody decided to keep that fight going. That's why I included the limitation on liability, Section 7, I believe, in mandatory carry, Datislav, right? To prevent exactly this from happening. So, you know what? I'm kind of reaching out to Kyle. Kyle, support mandatory carry. You wouldn't be getting sued now. This is a frivolous case that should have been tossed already. To the best of my knowledge, it hasn't been yet. And that's unfortunate because he doesn't deserve to be going through this shit again. Okay, Swiss Miss wants to know, can't I say the same thing about O.J. Simpson? Yes. Yes, I can. Unfortunately, O.J. Simpson predates Datislav by 20 plus years. All right. Maintenance worker shooting down in Houston, Texas, I believe, Dallas, Texas, I believe it was. Man knocks at the door of an apartment and rings the bell or something. Gets the attention of the resident. Tells the resident, and I've seen the video. I've seen the ring video, so don't tell me I don't know what I know. Tells the resident that he's a maintenance worker there to change filters. The resident had called to have those filters changed. The maintenance, apartment buildings maintenance people said, we don't do that. So here's this guy coming around saying, I'm here to change your filter. The resident became rather suspicious of this gentleman at his door, refused to open it, and said, come back later. Hey, Squatch. The maintenance man turned to the next door and began to knock. And a couple of minutes later, there's this very loud pounding at the door. You can see in the ring video that his buddy had come around, tried to kick the door open forward, and then he tried to kick the door backwards. donkey kick. He was bracing himself. It appears he was bracing himself against the handrail of the ladder leading to the upper deck. The man grabbed his gun and fired at least 5 rounds, possibly more. I couldn't tell for sure. Completely justifiable shooting. The man hadn't gotten in yet. Well, okay, fine. But he made it absolutely clear his intention was to get in. He didn't care the degree of violence needed to do it. To that gentleman, I say, good for you. You're absolutely guilty of defending your home. Oh, by the way, since we happen to be in the neighborhood, I worked on that one. It was terrible. If this guy had gotten in there, he would have gotten this burglar had gotten in there. He would have gotten the man's gun. Forget about the Xbox, the Nintendo, the big flat screen TV. He would have gotten that gun. He absolutely would have gotten that gun. What's going to stop him from shooting his way into the next house? The gentleman was interviewed later. He said he heard a gunshot. I didn't hear the gunshot. That's okay. I might be wrong. Maybe there wasn't a gunshot. He heard something that he thought was a gunshot. There's no way for me to know. But if that guy had managed to break into that house, first of all, with them being home, he would have gotten the gun. And second of all, they'd be dead now. That, David, is your unjustifiable defense. Hi, Snark. I didn't miss you walking in. It's just I was in the middle of my little rant. Damn, Swiss, I'm sorry. I missed it. And the answer to that question is no. And by the way, guys, I'm seeing the StreamYard side of the chat, not the YouTube side. This shows me everything, even if we love you, Susan. Hates it. Okay, I'm seeing why all the hate for Nickelback. I don't know. It's Canadian, maybe? I don't know. To which of us, which of the bitch do you want to speak to? I would never call you a bitch. You heard me say that. I'm crazy lady, not stupid. Yes, I started early. I answered that. That's why I start with that short that Squatch made for me. Thank you, Squatch. Oh, that. Okay, so here's the question she asked twice, and that honestly, I ignored this one. Leonard Cohen or Betty LaVey? First of all, on topic questions. Second of all, I have no idea who these are. I think Leonard Cohen was a singer. So I declare the neutrality of the channel. All right, I'm getting caught back up. Shit. There we go. And well, shit on a stick. We're not better than the chat, but there's only one of us. There's like 6 of you right now. All right. And that is true. And once I get into it, man, just fucking back off. It's all over. Where is Dad? You know, I should get him in here more often. Drop a 1 in the chat if you want to see more Papa Carey. It's not going to do any good because, you know, it really was a one-time thing. But drop a 1 in the chat if you want to see more Papa Carey. Actually, I'm going somewhere with that, folks, so drop that one anyway. You'll notice I didn't give you an alternative solution. All right. So, no, Swiss, that doesn't count. It's one. Moving right along. He's only guilty of defending his home, and in the process, he prevented somebody who's obviously dangerous, willing to use violence to gain what he wants, from obtaining a gun. Gee, what could possibly have gone wrong in that scenario? Wait, folks. That doesn't count either, Swiss. Being here proves I'll watch anything. And that's kind of true, folks. All right. Shit. Well, you don't have to agree, Swiss. All right, moving right along. Humor or lack of. All right. So, for those of you that don't understand what a meme or meme or mehem or mehime or whatever the fuck you want to call it, even if you want to spell it incorrectly, it is a picture, all right, that all by itself tells you everything you need to know about it. A picture of a stormtrooper on Tatooine is pretty obvious, all right? And when the caption says, when you join Space Force but get sent to the desert anyways, it's meant to be a fucking joke. That's all it is. It's a fucking laugh. What the hell? I joined the Coast Guard. I almost went to the fucking desert, right? This is water, and that is desert. I joined the Coast Guard on water, and I almost got sent 50 miles literally inland. The nearest water was a river 50 miles one direct south of where they ended up. You're going to have to work much harder, Squatch, but thanks for thinking of me. It's nice that you're thinking of me, as my second ex-wife once said of me. Where was I? So if you can't understand the joke of a stormtrooper, all right, you join Space Force, but you get sent to the desert anyways, you're probably fucking retarded. I'm not laughing anymore because this isn't funny. You probably are actually legitimately fucking retarded. You should probably shut the fuck up. Where did this come from? Well, I actually posted exactly that meme from disgruntled vets, dysfunctional vets over on Facebook. And you know what? It was funny because it's true. Excuse me. I have a little troll that's been hanging around the page the last 3-4 months. Apparently, Snart thinks it's pronounced Mimi. It doesn't matter what I say. He'll look for a way to respond to it, to attack. If there's nothing there to attack, all right, he won't respond. That's called dodging. He always looks for that gotcha. This time, the gotcha was that Space Force was formed in, I think, 2020. Can anybody verify my numbers? It was not 2020. It was 2018 or 19. You know what? Fucking who cares? It was a joke. And he's making that an issue to the point where he's actually flagged the post as false information. Are you fucking kidding me, David? Really, David? See, what none of you know it, or well, I don't know, maybe Squatch knows. But most of you don't know is all of this shit started out as a group on Facebook. Well, no, it started out as one post on one page on Facebook. 2 days later, it became a group. A few months later, it became a page. Mandatory carry. Thank you, Swiss. The official birthday of Space Force. If you're a veteran, you understand what the joke is 20 December 2019. A lot Destruction Industries. Wait a minute, I recognize that avatar. We'll come back to that in a moment. I'll come back to that in a moment, folks. Where was I? Yes. No, it was not that. He'll only comment if he thinks he's got a gotcha, and this time the gotcha was that Space Force was formed in 2019. Like, that makes a difference. The fuck difference does it make there, David? You're obviously retarded. All right, stop talking. But it's worse than that. He will keep talking by posting what are fake stats, which will be the next subject. Anything to try to report the page by. I've already got 2 page strikes. Not technically strikes. One was a fact check that's not a fact check, right? This actually did happen as described. Facebook doesn't like it, so they call it a misattribution. No, that wasn't it. Out of context. They called that one out of context. They called the other one misattribution. Grow the fuck up. All right. I know Swiss Destruction Industries has been here before. That was about 3 weeks ago, I think. Starkis said, "Don't volunteer information like that." I don't know what information. And Swiss is making fun of the fact that I don't know 70 singers. At least I think they're 70 singers. I'm pretty sure Leonard Cohen was a 70s singer. Sorry, if it's not Inagata DeVita Painted Black, 70s. Okay. That leads me to the next subject, statisticians and pollster lies. All right. Speaking of David. So for those of you that have been around the channel for a while, we love you, Susan. You cunt. You know that early 2019 or late 2018, I'm pretty sure it was early 2019, I put out a video talking about how Britain is so much more violent than the United States. Who knew? Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the chat, if you don't want to say you cunt, I get it. You don't want to get yourself in trouble. All right? leave me to be the faggot. It breaks down to this. The numbers that I was able to get for Britain, as in about half of the British Isles, central eastern half of the main of the two British Isles, right? That's made of the territories of the old Britain and Anglo tribes, the part that was invaded by Rome. All right. I think we all understand now that the territory that we're talking about in 2017 had roughly 33 million people in it. Now, I mean, it may be as high as 40, it may be as low as 30. 33 was the number I was able to get to. I got to that number by taking all of the UK collectively. By the way, Ireland is not part of the UK anymore. North Ireland is. But the rest of Ireland, proper Ireland, whatever you want to call it, South Ireland, Ireland, I don't give a shit. It's not part of the UK anymore. I took the whole of that population, subtracted Ireland, Wales, and Scotland. Right? I got 33 million. For 2017, I had 600 gun deaths in Britain. Now, if I'd had gun deaths for all of the UK, this would have been so much easier because I could have just taken the whole population of the UK, divided by the number, and it would have been easy. Right? That's just ridiculously easy. I didn't have that number. The website I used broke it down by the parts of the country. That's what I had. That's what I had to go with. That's what I was stuck with. Okay, no problem. Britain had 600 gun deaths that year. There was no way for it to be suicide or justifiable homicide. Justifiable homicide is self-defense. It's not possible, right? The police were only started being armed in 2019 or 2020. You know, I might be a little weak on that number. I'll own that. And there was no listing for suicides. This particular website did break it down by homicide, suicide, other. Oh, is Snark and Sass going away? Oh, good night, Snark. That's just, yes, Susan, Queen of Narnia. Where was it? That's the way they broke it down. For 2017, Britain, the unified country of the Anglo and Britain tribes, hey DJ, had 600 gun murders. For that same year, the United States had approximately meaning no way over 1,500 gun homicides for a population of 530 million. All right. First of all, that's more than 10 times as many. And just a little over 10 times as many people. And just a little over twice the gun homicides. Now, I'm going to pick on DJ because he's the last to arrive today. Which is the bigger number by population? 600 for 33 million or 1,500, not really, for 530 million. One for the 33 million, two for the 530 million. This is really easy math, guys. I'm surprised he hasn't hit the button already. But okay, let's move on. But David loves to go and fuck with anything. In this case, he decided he was going to pull up the British Home Office official statistics. Uh-oh. I already know that Squatch smells what this girl just stepped in, but I'm going to stop the screen for a moment so that I can bring up the answer for you, because I am a little. That's okay, DJ. You walked in late. It was actually one. I'm going to share a different screen with you guys. I'm going to go with this one, I think. I actually have two here for you. How Britain Cooks the Books by Paul Gallant, Sherry Gallant, Ellen J. Schwick, Janine D. Eisen. Now, Janine D. Eisen, that Eisen name, I've seen that somewhere else. And I'll drop, the link is actually in the description, so you can go check that one out too. We're going to skip past all of this because this is their opinion part. Okay. Because of massive finagling of crime statistics by the Home Office, the frontline police officers, by their superiors, and the British justice system, the level of violence in the UK subsequent to the Firearms Act of 1997 have been rendered difficult to decipher. That's very polite for bull fucking shit. We can, however, make educated guesses from what has been leaked into the newspapers and other media, and even from some information provided by the Home Office. One of these days, I'm going to remember to do a screenshot with all of these parts already highlighted. Shit. On 16 July 2001, the BBC reported a new study suggests the use of handguns in crimes rose by 40% in the 2 years after the weapons were banned. This is all about the 1992, I think it was, British National Firearms Act. The report suggests that despite the restriction of ownership, the use of handguns in crime is rising. Now, this story is a little bit older. I'll get to the exact date in a moment. Okay. Here's the interesting part for your purposes. Oh, motherfucker. There we go. Note that there are two primary sources of gun crime statistics in the UK. The first is from police data. These figures are especially unreliable because they deal only with crime that police record. And these are the statistics that are highly vulnerable to manipulation. While manipulation of data for self-serving purposes might be a common practice, the extent to which some UK law enforcement officials have taken it to new heights. The second source is British Crime Survey, which also has its own set of accuracy problems. The purpose of this article, we will deal with the first category, police data. All right. So I'm just going to go over the first of their Casus Belli. Sorry, guys. I don't know what else to call it off the top of my head. For instance, a murderer could be convicted of causing grievous bodily harm with intent, and such a case would be removed from the homicide crime statistics. This could result in homicide rates being lowered by as much as 25%. So those 600, all by that little bit, went up from 600 to 750. A little bit closer to US numbers, wasn't it? Oh, if you guys thought I was done, you were dangerously mistaken. Hey, Bernie. I did not see you walk in because I was a little distracted. Okay, that should be good. Oh, damn it. How Britain Cooks the Books, America's First Freedom. I'm also going to drop in the chat Fear in Britain by DaveKoppel.com, but actually written by Dave Koppel, Paul Gallant again, and Joanne D. Eisen. I want to make sure I did not make a mistake here. Jan D. Eisen, right, good. Okay, so there they are in the chat. And now they're part of the stream forever. Sorry, Susan, don't know what to tell you. We love you. Cunt. All right, so I am going to. I'm sorry, guys. I should have blown that one up. I didn't. I am, however, going to go back over the chat to make sure there was nothing that I missed, because I know there was, because I was distracted. All right. Actually, it's not that bad. DJ said hi to Swiss Miss, and Bernie said hello to everyone. Everyone that you could see. Moving along, it's harder to hit a moving target. I mean, that's true. All right. In short, Britain has been cooking their books for so long that they don't know how to serve anymore. It's overcooked. All right. It looks like the Zenny biscuits, Hawaiian pizza. Too soon, babe. Too soon. There might be some alcohol in. Well, there might be some cherry coke in my alcohol tonight. They've been finding ways to reduce the crime numbers, and by creative machinations, they can turn illegal immigrants into citizens of the country that were not recorded as such in 2017, and essentially double the population. That is how statisticians lie. On a related subject, pollsters lie by very creatively and carefully scripting the question. Here is a question, 1 for yes, 2 for no. Do you support the state's, state means all government at every level, ability to kill its people? For the purposes of the question, see, I'm being a little more honest than the pollster. Its people refers to people who are living within that state, like city, county, country, empire. Um, ooh. Well, Swiss cannot participate in this little de facto poll. A buddy of mine is an actuary. All statistics are manipulated by the one paying for the information. Ow. Have you been talking to Papa Carriot behind my back there, Swiss? Or maybe I repeated it. I don't know. That could have been what. That could have been how she heard it. I need a one or a two people. Just one. All right. Uh, it's such a beautiful mind. That's a common phrase, folks, but it's also now directly associated with one particular mathematician because of the movie, that name. Yes, we know, which life is unrelenting war. Speaking of which, I fell behind on your telegram. Way, way behind, like 4 digits. Swiss Miss is not allowed to participate in this poll because she already knows the correct answer. And it's actually not fair to the rest of you because she told you. So I'm going to just go ahead and cut to the chase. The poll can be manipulated by how you ask the question and by controlling how the question is asked. You can literally take it either direction. Do you support the state's ability to kill its own people? Well, if the answer is yes, then you're a genocidal maniac. If the answer is no, well, you don't give a shit about the people who are endangered. The police can't kill a citizen or resident of such and such a region because that would be taking the life of a resident of said region, and that's the state taking a life. Oh, yes, which the state's own people. It's part of your tribe, whether you like it or not. Believe me, sometimes I wish, sometimes I don't. Sorry, I'm also keeping my phone live. All right, Dangerous Witch asked, or said, that depends on exactly who the state sees as people. Well, if the state doesn't see all humans as people, uh, all humans within its territory as people, um, you don't live in a state, you live in a dictatorship at best. And that's a problem. Even a common criminal serving time in prison is part of the people. Yes, Jeffrey Dahmer was part of the people of New York. Well, was he? Did he serve time in California or New York? I can't remember. Um, he's people in the most extreme sense. I mean, fucking, he literally killed people and ate them. But he is part of the people. And until the day when he dies, well, until the day he died, he did still have certain rights, like to not testify against himself. Oh man. There might be some cherry coke in my rum tonight. Wow. So what's he do instead? He goes and takes another shot, but whatever. All right. And that is exactly what pollsters and statisticians, because it's the same overall business. You take the raw numbers, you make it into something. That's what they do. All right. Back in my native stomping grounds, there's a certain county supervisor who's being recalled. The polls are saying that he is going to be recalled. Those polls are also being issued by one side exclusively. And by the way, Papa Kerry is the one that's been sending me this information. All right. Papa Kerry has very much a bias in this subject. He has not yet seen a poll that shows that this guy is going to not be recalled. And yet every single one of them is being issued by the campaign to recall the supervisor. And gee, I wonder what their target audience was. Swiss Miss asks, can we choose our tribe? Yes. Or I'm sorry, no, not really. Born into it like a caste system. I'm sorry. I was in Trotty. You're American. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Boeing executives. Okay. Dangerous Witch really, really, really hates Boeing. I don't know why. She really, this is not the first time she's bashed on them. See, that's how much I know you guys. Okay, I'm caught up on the chat. Do not trust a poll, and do not trust a statistician. Now, hold up a second, guys, because I got to call up a different window. No, don't. I should have pulled this up before. Sorry, my bad. Tits, ducks, or 2D2, more tits. Space Force. That was cool. God damn it. Pete, where the fuck are you? Okay, I'm going to have to try to remember this one, or recite this one from memory. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start by saying that this is not an exact quote because, I don't know, maybe I deleted. Oh, this is Facebook. That's why. Maybe it will be an exact quote. Come on, Pete. Where are you? This is actually a very profound quote, and you should hear it correctly. And instead, you might end up with my fucked up version. And yes, I might be a little bit, well, it's not really good to go to get behind the wheel, but not that drunk. It appears that, that I scrolled right past it. Right. One should always be wary of a scientist speaking outside his narrow field or invoking their name outside their fields. Scientists are humans too, just as prone to cling to causes, just or frivolous, as the rest of our species. Dr. Peter Wyckoff Wyckoff Walker, 11 September 1987. Now, Pete's friends with me on Facebook, by the way. Pete was specifically talking about the Cassini probe at the time, but it applies to anything equally. Also, scientists are human too. Singular, not plural. My bad, Pete. I'm sorry. All right. They are prone to cling to causes just or frivolous as the rest of our species, and therefore are inclined to maybe understand the facts as they choose to understand them. For those of you that might not have been paying attention, I was actually just talking about Robert Barnes, not Pete and not David, just now. Okay, I'm going to go over the chat real quick because, I'm sorry. Swiss, I did not mean to highlight that. At least not yet. The tribe of orphans is orphans. And yeah, that's kind of a legitimate rebuke, guys. Okay, I did mean to highlight it this time. Loyalty is born from life experience more than place at birth. Well, that's true, actually. I was not born in Shasta County. I was born in Oakland Naval Hospital. So my tribe should be Navy in that case. Obviously, it's not. But moving on. All right. Okay, there we go. Bitch, why not? All right. Next subject. I'm going to wrap this one up real quick. Pollsters, statisticians lie, right? Sometimes it's the unconscious bias, and you got to see past that. Gideon, you know, my degree is in history, right? Gideon wrote the unequivocal history of the last Roman emperors. Well, no, actually, they weren't the last Roman emperors. They were the last pagan emperors of Rome. If you can see past his bias, the Christians are bad, you can get a lot of very valuable information about the times that these emperors lived in and the things that they did. Sometimes it's good things, sometimes it's bad things. It always is what it is. But you got to get past Gideon's bias against all Christians. If you can't get past that, you'll never get anything out of this. Of course, if you don't see it and you just read it for what it is, you might get past it anyway, by accident entirely. All right, fire hoses. 59 minutes. Okay. Fire hoses. The election's coming up very soon. No matter what happens, charged fire hoses will be part of it, the election. If the left gets what they want, which is another rigged election, oh yeah, I said that, and Biden gets a second term, They're going to take that as carte blanche to do whatever the hell they want. And they are going to burn cities to the ground. The only thing that could conceptually slow that down is they got what they wanted, and Creepy Joe says, we got what we wanted. We won. Now it's time for healing. Just like now was time to what the fuck did that stupid cunt say? It was the Atlantic. It was in the Atlantic. Something to the effect of forgive each other about COVID. Mistakes made during COVID. Unless, of course, you refuse to believe that there was a crisis or some shit like that. I don't know what the fuck she said. I don't understand. Well, she doesn't understand the fuck she said. But anyway. Excuse me. More to the point, they're going to turn to on burning cities to the ground. They're going to take this as carte blanche to do whatever the fuck they want. Yeah. If this another 2016 miracle does occur where the rigging doesn't work, and that's theoretically plausible, very theoretically plausible. And they're not only going to set fire to the cities, they're going to set fire to themselves if they have to set the cities ablaze. Oof. If they have to set themselves on fire to set the cities ablaze, they will. Now, if I were living in Los Angeles, San Francisco, or New York, I would be getting the fuck out. I would just commute to work, or telecommute, or something like that. Anything to not be in the Bronx the day after the election. Anything to not be in Queens the day after the election. Anything to not be in El Centro the day after the or Hollywood, the Hollywood Hills, or Tenderloin District the day after the election. Like, I'll tell you straight up, right? Any of my friends that live in any of those places, give me a call. You got to know my number. If you don't know my number, you know how to reach me on Facebook. If you don't know that, you know somebody that knows me. All right. Give me a call. I'll put you. You might have to bring a tent. I'll put you up for a few months because that's how bad it's going to be. If you live in Seattle, you probably should have already left by now. Apparently, Chattanooga is a good place to head for if you have any friends there. Sorry, guys. Underground bunker. Okay, Bernie. It's Pew Pew, Swiss. I'm going to let you all in on a dirty little secret of the National Firearms Act of 1938. 1938. It does not regulate flamethrowers in any way. Yeah. I mean, military flamethrowers are not regulated under the National Firearms Act at all. You could literally go into a military surplus store, and if you can find one, and you can find uh, starters and fuel and other parts for it, you can literally walk out with a working World War II bin to Saipan flamethrower. Okay. And I predict that that's what we're going to be seeing a whole lot of. We won't actually be seeing a whole lot of ghost gun AR-15s and AKs. We'll be seeing flamethrowers used because that's the best way to set cities on fire. No, but that does play into it. Bernie says, my cannon isn't regulated either. You know, actually, loose powder guns are not regulated. So, no, cannons are not regulated. Ironically enough, Gatling guns are because they are not loose powder. Matter of fact, you can make a cannon at home. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. I don't give a shit. Farmcraft 101, under its subordinate name Guncraft 101, actually made a bronze cannon. And it's perfectly legal. Everything he did was legal. Because it is a loose powder gun. You can also make gunpowder at home. It's a little more difficult. Excuse me. It's a little more difficult than most people think. But, well, it's more difficult the more basic the materials are. Take notes, Swiss. Take as many notes as you want. By the way, I really want to see. I want to talk to Dangerous Witch, and Bernie, and DJ later. DJ, I need to talk to you first. So I'm really hoping. No, actually, it's not there, Witch. Getting chemistry out of firewood ash is a bit tricky. No, it's actually not. It's not that difficult at all. It's just not as easy as some people think. You're not getting the ash, you're getting the charcoal. Well, if you charcoalize the wood and don't actually burn it, then you just scrape it off and now you have charcoal. Yeah, you're doing something incorrectly, hun. I don't know what. That's okay. We'll talk about that later. Okay. So one way or the other, we're going to see massive riots that make Summer of Love 2020 actually look like the fiery but mostly peaceful protests that the assholes from CNN described it as. If that doesn't fucking terrify you, then you're retarded, and I will sign your mandatory exemption as you're fucking retarded or mentally ill or something. Something's not right up there. I I can't read Russian, Swiss Miss. I'm sorry. All right. So this is going to piss a lot of people off. And Swiss Miss is probably at the top of the list because she just posted something in Russian. Anybody who demands others surrender will sooner or later see those same demands made of themselves. 2003, the United States went into Iraq. You can think of that what you want, right? Go ahead. I, for one, even 5 years later, when actual Iraqis were still fighting, was cheering them on. Believe it or not, I was still cheering on those Iraqis that were fighting America. I said Iraqis. I didn't say ISIS. I didn't say Iranian. I didn't say anybody from anywhere else. Iraqis who were still fighting Americans as late as 2005, I was still cheering them on because you know what? Fuck you. They are defending their country. I don't like it. Well, tough shit for me. All right. They have every right to defend their country. To the last man, to the last round, and to the last ugly sort of thing that happens in warfare sometimes. You have every right to defend your homeland. Now, do I like it? No. No. Right? And do I like certain people more? Do I like them? No. Do I like certain other people more than I like them? Oh, very much, yes. All right. But part of me is cheering them on because you know what? They are defending their country, their homeland. And good for you. You deserve respect. Now, these ISIS fighters who were brought from, first of all over the Middle East, second of all over South America, and third of all from parts of Europe and Australia, which that one really fucking blew my mind. You had an Aussie, and United States, Canada, bits and pieces of Asia. I have no respect for them. They're just the line between mercenary and terrorist there is. It's not as blurry as it sounds, but there is a blur there. They're terrorist for hire. Oof. Okay, I caught up. But Iraqis who are fighting for their homeland have my respect. They really do. Dead, alive, or otherwise. You have and have earned my respect, and good for you. Those of you who have been demanding that certain other parties surrender because you don't like it, that same demand will be made of you in turn. Okay, so Vivek Ramaswamy, who was, quote, the winner of the first round of the Republican debates, has been reported to have said during the debates that he would recognize the occupied territories of Ukraine as Russian. That is nothing less than a demand that Ukrainians surrender. Whatever you feel about the conflict, that's got to be a no-go. That he demanded that they surrender and, by the way, accept slavery and genocide as their fate. that cannot be tolerated under any circumstances. That man must never be allowed to hold any elected or appointed public office if that's what position he wants to take. I don't speak um, French either. They're Swiss Miss. Right? You can take a lot of positions, but if you demand that the Ukrainians surrender under any circumstances, please leave. Just please leave. And that was my good behavior. All right. I'm going to stop the screen for a moment because we're going to switch over to a reading of Mandatory Carry Dataslav Act. Present. Share screen. Window. Now I'm going to, oh, actually, no, that's pretty good. I was going to blow it up a little bit, but I'm not doing that. All right, conditional exemptions. The following categories of persons may, at their own discretion, be exempt of carry during such times as said conditions exist. First of all, it's at their own discretion, right? The same guy who thinks it's too dangerous to carry a gun while he works on 400 volt electricity might be the guy that says it's perfectly safe to work on 200. Two people working the exact same job, you might think exactly the opposite. One guy working two different jobs in the same field under one circumstance may say, yeah, it's safe. Under the other circumstance may say, no, it's not. He might say it's not safe at the 200, but it's perfectly fine at the 400. The higher voltage level might be safe. Intoxicated persons, any person under or intending to be under the influence of an intoxicating substance as established by their state's drunk driving statutes. Right now, I think I'm kind of borderline for Nevada DUI law. Right? I might technically pass, but I wouldn't want to be behind the wheel of a vehicle right now if I could in any way avoid it. That is the standard that I used. So if you don't like your state standard, maybe you should talk to your representatives. Any person within 100 feet of their home, vehicle, place of employment, or residence that they have a right to be in as a guest. Okay. You get home after a long day of work. You take your gun off. You go across the street to the Chevron for a pack of cookies and a 6-pack of beer. This is a literal place, I can tell you. It's down on Felony Flats in Salem, Oregon. There's a Chevron right across the street from an apartment building. Right? Like it is straight across. After roughly 1800 at night, that neighborhood is quiet as a fucking grave. Right? It's called Felony Flats, but it's quiet as a grave after 1800. You could jaywalk and nobody would know. Ever. Unless you pass out in the middle of the street. I'm not going to tell you you have to put your gun on, go across the street for a pack of cigarettes, 6-pack of beer, and some cookies. That's ridiculous, right? Even though it's supposedly such a dangerous neighborhood. Exempt locations as provided below. Persons in exempt locations other than employees are exempt from carry during their time there. No location may enact a gun-free zone declaration of its own, and all other gun-free zone laws and ordinances are hereby repealed. Fuck you, New York. Employees of exempt locations are not eligible for any exemption under this act. If you work there, you have to carry. All right. If you work in a gun-free zone, you have to carry. If you're not eligible to carry, you can't work there. It's that simple. Exempt locations is covered in a different section. Persons in specific working conditions where in compliance with the law present such an unacceptable risk to their own safety or that of those around them of unintentional injury are exempt while in the specific circumstance exists. This section refers to working conditions only. A electric utility lineman working with 400, 800, 1600 volts might think it's not safe to work in those conditions with their gun on their hip. A sewer system employee might think it's not safe to work with a gun on his hip. Okay, while you are working, you are exempt. And by the way, while you are working, you are completely exempt. You don't have to leave your gun in your truck. You can leave it at work, at your office or shop or whatever. Right? It may not be safe for you to have the gun in the truck because what if somebody steals your truck? Now they got your gun, they got you 40 feet up in the air, and they got your truck. Man, that's a trifecta. That's kidnapping, and they stole a gun. Right? Maintenance. Right. Any person who has surrendered a weapon to an FFL holder for maintenance and or gunsmithing may show a receipt for the weapon to any peace officer or court officer. No citation may be written if presented at time of discovery. Pause. Time of discovery should be police officer who stopped you for not using a turn signal, I guess. Hey, where's your gun? Oh, shit. Here's my receipt. It's at Joe's gun shop. Yeah, okay, good. Thanks. And here's your ticket for failure to use a turn signal. Any citation shall be dismissed for cause if presented in court without additional fine or fee. Okay. You left your receipt at home. You got pulled over for the failure to signal. You left a receipt at home. You show it to the judge. Your Honor, I'm sorry. Here's the receipt. Judge looks at it. It's a legitimate receipt. Everything else checks out. Get out of my sight. The additional fine or fee thing is a little bit debatable. I'll get back to that in a minute. All right. Any professional other than an FFL holder or employee of an authorized gunsmith who attempts to determine the cause of the weapon surrender shall be fined not less than $1,000. That's anybody. I don't care fuck who you are. If you don't work for the FFL, where your job is to fix this gun, you have no fucking business asking. You literally have no business asking. It's none of your business. And worse, it's a $1,000 fine. Fuck you. Any private party who attempts to determine the reason for a weapon surrender under this section shall be fined not more than $500. All right. That is literally a gimme. A reporter, I hand over my gun because my sights are off. Reporter goes in and says, "Hey, Manager Carey turned in his gun last week. He said his sights are off." How far off are they? That's $500 fine. Fuck you. Get out of my shop. Any person working at the behest of a third party shall be considered a professional for purposes of this section. I want to make sure that was everything. Okay. All right. Good. All right. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to pop that back up. There it goes. All right. I'm going to leave that up there for a second. I'll get back to that in a second. I'm going to get to the chat here in a second, guys. All right. It has been brought up. The maintenance and repair exemption is easy to abuse. I think I've closed that loophole. I know I closed the other loophole. For the longest time, the biggest fucking loophole in this was intoxication. All you have to do is tell the cop, dude, I was going to get drunk after work or school or whatever. You can leave your guns at home. I left my guns at home because I was going to get drunk after work or school or whatever. They can't write the ticket. Well, they can, I suppose, but they may have to explain to the judge, why did they write that ticket when the guy's standing right here telling me that he was going to get drunk after work? All right. I think that's good for now. We're going to stop that screen and present the chat while I scroll back over it to see what I missed. God damn it. People are. Do not retract messages on my chat. Unless you know you broke the big rules. You know, the kind that Susan hates. You guys know I can recover those later, right? Okay. Acadian. I know that word. Voltage is not as dangerous as amperage. I will take your word for it because I'm not an electrician. Swissmith, who the hell do you think you're kidding? You don't behave on my channel. Nobody does. That's why we exist, to misbehave. We're the fucking brown shirts. Not brown shirts. I'm sorry. Brown coats. We are brown coats. Yes, people still get pulled over for failure to use a turn signal. But usually only if it causes an actual problem. All right. So for the longest time, the biggest loophole was intoxication. All you have to do is tell the cop, hey, I was going to get drunk after work today. Can't write the ticket. Oh, man. I cannot believe that nobody other than me realized just how fraught with abuse that was. You could literally lie and say, no, I was going to get drunk after work and get around everything. Well, I think I've closed that up with the false pretenses. Now, that same false pretenses applies to third party and anything else. But if you try telling the judge, I was going to get drunk after getting 50 tickets and 3 months, well, really 2, but we'll go with 3 working days. The judge might just think, you know what? I don't think you're getting drunk as much as you say you are. If you are getting drunk as often as you say you are, you have an alcohol problem. We're going to get you a a drug abuser exemption. And then we'll see you in a few months when you get out. Ooh. God damn it. Guys, I want to warn you to be careful how much cherry Coke you put into your alcohol. Oh, God. All right. That was the biggest loophole. And I could not figure out for the life of me how to fix it. All right. One of the people that follow the channel actually pointed out that there was a loophole, a big fat fucking one. It was the wrong loophole, but that's okay. Pointed it out. I finally asked Papa Carey how to fix it, and he said, "Well, if that's your concern, then somebody's actually he was talking about something else, right? I was in a situation where maybe having a gun was not the best idea I could have had right then and there. And he said, wait a second. If that's your concern, then it's all moot anyways. Why are you fighting this battle? Oh, yeah, he's right. Well, that finally put me on track to realize anybody can lie about anything. So let's deal with the lying first. Okay. I want to deal with this right away. Bernie asks, what if you tell the judge you have a substance abuse disorder? Excuse me. The judge may order you into rehab. There you go. Dangerous witch. Okay, I'm going blind in my right eye. Am I still required to carry? Maybe. You might be. You might not be. Are you left or right-handed? It's a pretty simple question. And I assume you were being very serious here. And Swissmith says, yes, you still have your left eye. Well, no, eye dominance is actually an issue for accurate aim. So, dangerous switch. If you are right-handed and you simply cannot switch over to your left hand, you may be exempt. By the way, people, I have seen a little bit of Swiss Miss. No, not Swiss Miss. Dangerous Witch. She does wear glasses. All right. So she may not be stretching the truth at all. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, no, that's right. Screen type that's wrong. There we go. Okay, which says I write with my right hand, but I brush with my left. Left. Let me cut to the chase. Do you shoot left or right-handed? If you're ambidextrous, you may not be exempt. Sorry. Now that's not an absolute. And as Bernie pointed out, people lie all the fucking time. There are some people that can shoot off eye dominance. And okay, great, good for them. There are some people who have adapted to that. Great, good for them. Without getting into the specifics of every little question in detail, which, yes, you may be. As it stands right now, which I would say probably yeah. And I would be willing to testify to that in court. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard Mandatory Carry, of all people, saying, yes, I would testify to that. This isn't the first time you've heard it, right? But it's the first time you've heard it about somebody on the channel. There's another lady who has epilepsy. I would absolutely testify to her exemption if she were an Australian and therefore outside the purview. Okay, caught up. So yeah, she would. I would testify to dangerous witches exemption. Like, don't threaten me with what I want. Don't you dare call me to testify in that hearing, because I will enjoy saying, yes, Your Honor, DW should be Darkwing Duck. We have our own little Darkwing Duck now. Is and should be exempt. And if you need a bigger expert on this law than me, well, good luck finding him. Bernie, that song was about drug addiction. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Has anybody heard from Luke Wee? He disappeared about a month ago, and I have not heard from him since. Lol, I hear the music. Yeah, so do I. Fuck you, Bernie. I should time you out just for that. DJ's still here. Yeah, but he's got that song stuck in our heads now, DJ. I'm sorry, guys. I am not ignoring you. I am checking. How long have we been on this? Because all of a sudden my screen doesn't scroll or something. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. So it's not that. And all of a sudden my StreamYard is not one. Oh, okay, there we go. There we go. By the way, I'm going to back up a little bit. Dangerous Witch said that she's losing her right eyesight, assuming that she's completely right-hand dominant. She may be exempt of mandatory carry, and yet not exempt from competition shooting. Just happen to have this, which is part of a what is it, Paris toy company gun. It's well, anyway. Because competition shooting is a completely different skill set, or at least generally different skill set. She may still be able to participate in competition shooting, but be exempt of mandatory carry. And the judge might also say, you know what? Because of your eyesight issues, I'm going to relieve you of the carrying of a firearm, but I'm going to order you to carry pepper spray until you are just not able to see at all. Or he might be a fucking retard, say, but you got to carry a knife. That is 99% true. Media personality. Religious leaders, clergy tends to attract a certain sort of people. They're either extremely honest or extremely dishonest. Media personality, the media only attracts one sort of personality. They're all dishonest. That is true. Okay. All right. Now, show notes doesn't count as cheating on my phone there, Swiss. I don't want to hear about it. Where are we at? We got 20 minutes. Okay. All right. Considering what I said earlier about fire hoses. You see this? This is not going in my car anytime soon. This is not going at my station or my locker at work. Okay. But I am going out this weekend or next. I have to check my paycheck. And I am picking up a 3-day pack of those red bags that I used as my starter kit, because I'm a little bit more concerned than I was before. All right. My get home bag is slowly starting to inch up to a full-fledged bug out bag, because I'm actually starting to get concerned. Now, I'm not going to load it up. Holy shit. There's like a pound of medical gear in this bag alone. All right. There's another pound of basically clothing in this bag. What do I have in here? Probably a quarter pound of various lines and signaling gear, right? That's ridiculous. Even by my standard, that's pretty ridiculous for a get home bag. This is a bug out bag at this point. But my get home bag is going to be getting bigger. I'm getting one of those 3-pound or 3-day bags, and I'm going to keep only the parts that I need. Now, I happen to know that the commercially available 3-day bag has a pack of playing cards in it. The one that I bought has a pack of playing cards in it. What do I need a pack of playing cards for? Well, if it's legitimately a 3-day bag, you might want it. All right. No. I'll give it to Papa Carey or maybe my cousin that I'm going to interview later on. Or Papa Carey's next door neighbor. That would be an interesting that would be very interesting. Just I'll give it away to somebody. I'm going to keep the food. I'm going to keep the whistle and the parts that I actually need that I don't carry on me every day. Right? I don't need a knife in the pack because I carry a folding trench knife with me in my everyday kit. No, I'm not gambling while I'm on the road. Okay, I'm going to catch up with chat in a second. I don't need the playing cards. What else was in that bag? I don't need the water that came in that bag, even though I still have one of the packets. One of the original packets out of that 3-day pack. Never been opened. Should still be good. I mean, it's just water. Does it ever go bad? I didn't know they were out of Florida. Yeah, there's no there is no best if consumed by date, although there is a reference, replace if not consumed by, best if used by date. That is literally right there. I don't know if you can read that. Oh, there it is. September 2021. 30 September 2021. I'm going to try and put that where you can read it. That is not very good. S Sierra Echo Papa 3021. Now, intellectually, I know that's 30 September 2021, but God damn me if that doesn't look like September of 30, 2021, which would be like 1,000 years from now. I'm going to drink it anyway. I don't give a shit. Do not microwave carton because there's tinfoil inside. But anyway, that's one of the original bottles. One of the original water from my 3-day kit. Wow, a lot happened in the last few minutes. I'll get to the chat in here in a second. Ditch the water. You're gonna get the bag. You're gonna get the water with it. Take the water out of the bag. Put it into your. Oh yeah, now I lose it. Motherfucker, did you go? Oh, put that into your work bottle. All right. In a week, replace your bottle. And there you go. You're good to go. I have a feeling that the next 2 years are going to be one fucking hell of a roller coaster. For those of you that follow the Laurel channel, if you think her version of the collapse is the limit of it, yeah, you're living in a fantasy world. Right? Her collapse scenario is nothing compared to what the actual collapse will be like. And if you think I'm full of shit, I would very much advise you to look into what happened in New York in 1967-ish. All right. There's a lot in the chat about hating on religions. And as Bernie put it, that's a can of worms for another day. Especially since y'all know I'm a chaplain, right? Oops. No, for real, I'm a chaplain. I have done weddings, baptisms, and I've done last rites one time. I've done like 8 weddings, 3 baptisms, infancy baptisms. No, 4. Baptism. I love doing weddings, and I love doing baptisms, and the last rites, I just happen to be the man on the scene. I don't like last rites. I don't enjoy last rites. There is one of these in this bag, even though I fucking hate that company. Right. Be careful who you turn to for religious advice. And if you're following the channel, how do I put this politely? I would encourage you to turn to anyone other than me for religious advice. If you knew me personally, it'd be one thing. You don't know me personally. You have not shook my hand. You have not punched me in the face. You have not spit in my eye. All right. Probably not the best religious advisor for you, unless you have a specific question, like unless you have a specific question and you're just not comfortable going to your own real chaplain. There's a little bit of nuance to that, of course, but generally speaking, no, I wouldn't be comfortable counseling 90% of you out there. Ironically enough, I'd be very happy to counsel Dangerous Witch because I've dealt with pagans. I am a Christian. I've dealt with pagans and Muslims and Jews. Let's see. I've dealt with Satanists, but they're how do I put this politely? They're exempt under mandatory carry under Part G. Yeah. Or A, CDFG, A, or Part H. Some of them are Part H. But yeah, be very careful who you deal with. And that's all I'm going to say on that subject. All right. God damn you, fucking ass shit stink. I mean, okay, that's all of the subjects I had to cover for today. Now, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Swiss Miss Part G is you're fucking retarded. Part G exemption is I want to live long enough to see that people actually use you're a Part G as a slur for a lack of intelligence. Now, I'm going to do something a little different, and I'm taking stealing a page from Caucasian Sasquatch's channel. Squatch, after he stops his live stream, opens up his back room, his backstage, to anybody that wants to come in. It's off stream, therefore it's off record. Hey, what did Carrie just do? Maybe I'm crazy. If you don't see me, it's like sitting right here, all right? Yeah, give me like 2 minutes because I really got a shit bad. But yes, you are. If you can see this, you're invited. Come on back. I know there's a few of you out there, and I've seen them in the chat who have other questions that you're not comfortable asking in front of the public. All right. That's fine. I get it. And I'll see you. Those of you who come back, I'll see you in about 5 minutes. In the meantime, the next week, ladies and gentlemen, keep calm and mandatory carry on.